Hey everyone, welcome back to PoE, and this is the first video on Heist. On today's content, I'll be going over the League starters progress and some early thoughts on Bug League, I mean Heist. That one. Since I know that not everyone is gonna wanna hear about every single topic I've got today, I'll be timestamping the video so that you can skip to the portion that you are interested in. And as always, if you are new around here, be sure to subscribe, otherwise a rating and a comment are greatly appreciated. So let us begin with this Gladiator Spectral Shield Throw Duder, and to be quite honest, I'm actually having a rather smooth start. It was a bit wonky at the very beginning of the league because Divide and Conquer Spectral Shield Throw's Ul was completely broken, as the skill will only chain once with it, and instead of the 4 chains it will just stop after hitting another target. Even though that kinda hurt the clear, I was actually going rather smoothly, and that's mostly because the rest of the gear that the character is wearing seems pretty good so far, so let us talk about that right now. Okay, so for the gear, I'm actually gonna go rather quickly because there is still some changes pending to the gear that the character is wearing. For example, the boots, which should be bubonic trails with 2 abyssal sockets, and I haven't done that so far because they are kind of expensive thanks to the abyss glitch that is going around, where abysses aren't ending on the chest or on abyssal depths, and as such, getting bubonic trails is rather difficult, and once I get them I should be able to get jewels with life, a resistor 2 and damage over time while holding a shield, just like the ones that I'm currently wearing in my belt. But besides that, as always, when it comes to Spectral Shield Throw, the most important part of the character is the shield. Mine has 2214 armor, and by using Divine Orbs I should be able to hit, you know, a harder amount of armor, or a rather large amount of armor, and with quality from either Bestiary or Betrayal I should be able to push to like 2400 optimistically speaking. So that is my plan. In your case, try to get something that you can benchcraft, I don't know, maybe the flat armor or the increased armor, and then corrupt the quality or something, but try to get something as close to 2000 armor or more so that you can scale off your bleed damage as large as possible. Besides that, the rest of the gear is pretty much what I said on the last video. Helmet needs the enchantment Spectral Shield Throw damage, as many resistances and life as possible. The amulet, a resist or 2, life, fist damage over time multiplier, negative total mana cost of skills, if possible fist damage to attacks. One of the rings, life, resistances, negative total mana cost of skills, if possible damage with bleeding or fist damage to attacks. The other ring, vulnerability on hit, life, resistances, if possible fist damage to attacks. The gloves, life, resistances, fist damage over time multiplier. I may change these guys because they've got low life, but I don't know just yet. The weapon, damage with bleeding, damage over time multiplier, and you craft damage over time. This one is still pending the corruption. Well, this is a tenderizer, so that doesn't apply here. So I need to like search for a sword that I can corrupt for, what is it? I'm forgetting, this guy over here. Resolute technique, there. I need to get that corruption on my weapon so that I can avoid taking it on the skill tree, and as such get 100% accuracy. Since I'm not critting, that isn't a problem, and that is also one thing that is pending on this slot. And finally, the body armor, life, increased life, and resistances. And this increased life roll is actually from the temple, which is why this is kinda cheap to acquire. If you try to craft it yourself, the bench craft of increased life, that is going to require grinding for the craft from Betrayal. So I recommend that you get something like this. 6 link it yourself if possible, if not a 5 link should be more than enough just to start off this league. As for the links, Spectral Shield Throw, Unbound Ailments, Brutality, Deadly Ailments, Vicious Projectiles. Eventually the 6th link is Swift Affliction. Obviously the plan is to get the currency to get the awakened versions, but for now this is more than enough. For auras we are using Malevolence, Herald of Purity, War Banner. That's it. The rest of the gems, Enduring Cry and Flame Dash linked to Second Wind and Blood Magic. Maim linked to Ancestral Protector. Tempest Shield, and Blood Rage. I'm also missing a Flame Golem, and in the skill tree portion I'm still missing one Ascendancy. And that's pretty much it when it comes to this character. If you noticed, I've pretty much overbuilt this side of the skill tree, and that is because I'm missing the Corruption, but once I get it, I should be able to ditch this entire part, get a large cluster jewel, socket both of the medium cluster jewels with compound injury and any other damage over time modifier, and that should be it for this character really. Everything else is pretty much what I said on the last video. I'm still missing some jewel sockets, the character is level 83, but for now this is the progress, and it's pending a little bit more. With all of that being said, let us talk about Heist. And with all honesty, I went in expecting something completely different to what the League mechanic is actually all about. I genuinely thought about it like Payday Light, as in you can either stealth it up or go in guns blazing. And while you can technically do either of those, there's more to the League mechanic that completely changes those expectations. For starters, this ain't no walk in the park, it is a rather challenging League, and originally I was actually hating it. The leveling experience with the first character of any League is already a bit rough because you have no currency to back off your mistakes, and then the League mechanic is not precisely noob friendly, so in tandem it was rather difficult justifying any early interaction with it. However, once I got into maps and I started patching up some holes on the character, I can smoothly tackle heists here and there, though the challenge spike is still present. I've yet to fully adapt to the fighting squads holding down choke points on the escape phase of heists. Them and the hordes of rare enemies, shout out to allies cannot die rares by the way, buffing each other and their minions, patiently waiting to shotgun you as you attempt your escape, is not something I was expecting, and I'm not kinda a fan of it right now. At first I found it a bit perplexing that killing guards here and there as you run towards the target was greatly boosting the alert levels, especially if you open chests on the way. However, once you start leveling the rogues, especially Karst, looting as you run past guards becomes very profitable. In fact, it is so profitable that at one point I figured it was just better to loot the place instead of risking the alarm and the pain that comes afterwards. You go in, you ignore the mobs, open the chests, steal the good shit and then get the fuck out. No loss, no NPC scolding at you for failing, and you outplay the system. GG, well played. Though being honest, this strat of just running past guards, opening chests and leaving with the loot is way too profitable without any risk right now, and I wouldn't doubt that it might get nerfed anytime soon. Coming back to the mechanic itself, I'm still on the fence. It is growing on me, but I'm not 100% convinced on it just yet. Maybe once this gladiator nutter is fully geared and tackling hard stuff, I'll change my mind. However, we must also quickly mention the fact that this league start was a bit rough on the technical side of things. Look, I appreciate Triple G's attempt to be original with the league mechanic, and I also commend them for trying out new things. But let's get real here, Heist had a very murky start. Crashes, disconnections, broken skills, pulls closed, nice dance, a tireless entry, abyss is borked, escape route puzzle is backwards, missed death effects, open the goddamn door please, etc, etc, etc. Granted, I've seemed to have stopped crashing and disconnecting every other heist, and divide and conquer seems fixed, but there's still some things floating around that could definitely use some attention. Though I must be honest on this one, why are we buffing an undead effect? Like, I thought that the outcry against those mechanics is already loud enough. Yes, it is only one, but again, why? Okay, anyways, that is gonna be it for me today. Heist seems okay so far, though it isn't blowing my mind anytime soon. I like the characters, I like the concept, I like the setting, but I'm still adapting to it. I gotta play with it more, which is exactly what I'm gonna do once I'm done editing this video. So that's gonna be it for me today, and again, if you are new around here, be sure to subscribe, otherwise a rating and a comment are welcome as well. Thank you so much for watching, have a nice start to your week, your league, and I'll catch you again soon enough. Peace out.